Hello, Jeff and fellow Backshed forum members. This is just a quick video showing the problem I'm having with Touch Lastref. This is my setup here, Explorer 64 board, SSD, 1963 7-inch display, keyboard, and so we'll power this on. You can see from there I'm running beta 37. I'll just do option list. That's how I'm configured. I'm using the alternative display driver, the 7A driver. And let's list the program that I've posted on the forum. So this is the program I've posted on the forum. All it does is initiates a text box, sets a ghost value of enter name, and then when you enter a value into the text box, it then stores the value in name string. And if you don't enter anything, it goes back to the ghost text. So let's run this, and there we are. So enter name, and you can touch anywhere around here. Everything's fine. You touch on there, and we can enter a name, Greg, enter, and now we can see that Greg, that's the value of name string. So that's stored in there, perfect. And we can touch around there, everything's fine. Now, if we bring up the text box and just hit enter, we go back to the ghost text, enter name. Now here's where it gets interesting. If you touch outside of the text box, name string gets set to enter name. And I think the reason for this is that your touch outside on the GUI interrupt, when it has the touch up, the last valid control was this control. Even though I haven't touched a valid control, the pointer is still pointing to the last valid control. So we can hit that like that again, and it goes away. And if we touch on that, we can type in a name or mistype a name. Everything's fine. And if we go back to a null value, we've got the enter name. But again, if we touch on there, we could enter another null value. We can touch on there. We could enter another name, Fred, and that's fine. And that's all fine. I suspect when I'm doing this, it's actually resetting name string to Fred, but I would have to change the program to prove that. So we'll go back to a null value, and I touch here, and boom, name string gets set to enter name, which it shouldn't. The only way that can happen is if my touch outside of a control, the touch up, is calling the subroutine, mistakenly calling the subroutine to enter the name. So that, I think, if someone else can duplicate that, could cause weird bugs in a program. At any rate, if someone else wants to run it and see if they can get the same sort of response, I'll just switch it off and start it up again and just run it. And again, initially, because that control's not been touched, it works fine when you initially power it up. But once you've touched it, brought up the keyboard, hit enter, and now it has last valid. The last valid touch up is pointing to that control. Even though we haven't touched that control, we've touched outside of the control. If you only touch other controls, you'll never encounter this bug. So I hope that helps. Thanks. Bye for now.